So a lot of people will object and say, how is the human race guilty before God? How are we accountable to God when it was Eve that was deceived by the serpent or Satan in the Garden of Eden? And we can take an example from the book of Revelation where the conditions in the future will be pretty close to perfect. In Revelation 20, it describes Satan being released at the end of the 1,000-year millennial reign to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. And they will attack or attempt to attack the camp of God in Jerusalem. But fire will come down from heaven and destroy all those peoples that rebel against God. So this is a clear example from the millennial reign that despite having all of the evidence in the world, Jesus Christ ruling and reigning on the earth for 1,000 years, people living longer, the church in their glorified bodies, the knowledge of the Lord covering the earth as the waters cover the sea, people in their hearts will still choose to rebel. And what we see here is Satan is using the exact same tactic that he used with Eve in the Garden of Eden. He goes out to deceive the nations. Now, we cannot underestimate the power of Satan's deception. A lot of people say, well, Eve was just dumb. How could she have fallen for that? She was perfect and she had all those other trees to eat from. But if we look at the conditions in the millennial reign, where you have multitudes of people that are going to defy the lordship of Christ and actually attempt to attack the city of God, it shows that it's not about perfect conditions, perfect politics, perfect environment. It has always been the deceitfulness and evilness of men's hearts. So during the millennial reign, Christ will use this as a teaching example to all of humanity, that it was always in men's heart, according to his own free will, that he chose to rebel against God. And so we see in the very beginning of time, Satan deceives the human race in the Garden of Eden, and when he is released from the bottomless pit at the end of the millennial reign, he will again deceive the human race into defying God, and it will work despite perfect conditions, Garden of Eden-like conditions, where Jesus says that the millennial reign will be the regeneration. Mankind is ultimately to blame for their own sin, and there is no unrighteousness with God.